What a crazy game we just had between the Brisbane Broncos and the Canberra Raiders at GIO Stadium. And wow, as you can see, it ended 28-29. In this video, I'm going to be telling you everything that happened. So, let's begin. We'll talk about how Big Papa was announced that he is back from injury and he's all good to go before the start of the game. We'll go talk about the first half first, where it ended up with the Raiders being ahead. Hudson Young, Sebastian Chris and KO Week scoring for the Raiders, and Kadoni Staggs scoring the second minute, which was really quick for the Broncos, and Dean Mariner. It was a close overall first half, but I guess it just wasn't what people expected for what ended up happening in this crazy game. Then, in the second half, we saw some action where Reece Walsh head-butted Hudson Young. For some reason, I don't agree with Ashley Klein here, but as you can see in the footage there, both of these two got put in the bin. I don't understand why Hudson Young did, but I do understand why Reece Walsh did, and that was just a knock-on effect as KO Weeks ran up from one side of the pitch all the way to the other. Some people could argue it was possibly a knock-on. I don't know. I would need to look at that again. But he scored that try and it looked like just Raiders dominance. Then Captain Patrick Carrigan gets put in the bin as well. It looks all over for the Broncos. Ethan Strange goes and scores a try and then it really just looks all over. The Raiders have a massive lead. Broncos players all out in the sin bin. Then dominance from Reece Walsh. Look, mate, the minute he came back, he was such a great player. He was probably the MVP, the best player of this match. He was so good. He comes on, scores a try, a beautiful 40-20, and helps Broncos score 2 more tries, making this game incredibly close. Then Walsh kicks a 2-point field goal to equal it up, but he hits the crossbar. Yeah, not the post, the crossbar. Now, the Raiders block another field goal to win the game. They're all happy, they have won. The whistle's been blown just for it to be checked, and they give Broncos a penalty right in front. Tackling, I think, like when he was taking it, obviously I would need to look more at it like most of this stuff because it just finished. But the Raiders got unlucky. The Broncos escaped. They got a penalty right in front where Reece Walsh kicked the penalty goal, sending it into extra time. And this was amazing. Well, not the first half of extra time. It ends with no one scoring, just really close. But in this second half of extra time, the Raiders missed 1-point field goals and Walsh attempts it, but it gets blocked. The Raiders should have scored at the end, but got intercepted and didn't attempt another field goal. They should have gone for the field goal. But we are going to Golden Point, so it did end up going to Golden Point, as you could see. But the Raiders go and they score a try, Fogarty scores, and they win the game. The Broncos and the Sharks next week. Well, if you actually know NRL and you actually looked at the start and the thumbnail, yeah, they didn't win. The Raiders, it got disallowed. I don't think anyone expected, but I think it was a knock-on. It got disallowed. I thought it was all over. I think everyone thought it was all over. But it got disallowed just for the Broncos to score a field goal off the post and win the game. The Raiders, the minor premiers, now have to play the Sharks next week instead of going straight to the prelim. And that is where the Broncos are going. This is just amazing for Brisbane. Canberra, they're doing like what Adelaide Crows did in the AFL, being first and then losing their first game, and now a lot of people saying they could lose the second game to the Sharks, who will be going their best. It'll be an interesting one next week, and obviously more predictions from me will come out close to the time. But what a game. Just amazing from both teams, and one of the best games of the entire season. Definitely the best games of the final so far. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, and watch my channel. Make sure to subscribe instead of watching Foxtel's Maddie G show after the NRL, because I'm better. Bye, guys.